I got a weekend in early June to pursue one of my lifelong but elusive hobbies. It's not often that the stars align for me to get the time and opportunity to be able to act on my imagination to this extent. But this time, with plans in place and a will to execute it, I had everything I needed to make it happen. If you remember in one of my previous videos, I had scoped out the tree that I was going to build in. When I arrived, I had to go find that tree and cut a new yet more accessible path so that I could easily carry the lumber back to the site. Before it got too dark, I wanted to get the two largest boards, the ones that would be the beams that anchored into the tree, back to the site, so that they would already be there for when I began building in the morning. That evening wasn't necessarily June weather. Temps in the mid-50s and semi-damp. Making a fire was going to be a chore, so I resorted to an early bedtime to make sure I got enough rest for the big day of building that awaited me. When I woke up in the morning, the fog sitting in the valley dispersed the sunlight in the cool, crisp air to create an atmosphere that energized me. After hauling my equipment and tools back to the site, I began with anchoring the beams into the trees. That's the most difficult part of building in the trees, as the base, and as with anything in the beginning, it requires precision and attention to detail, which will ultimately affect the final project in the end. I may not be used to such physical labor in my daily life, but this kind of work not only is fulfilling to me, but it is another avenue for me to manifest some of my creativity and bring it to life.
It's like lifting weights. So,
the other two treesteads that I built years ago, I built with my good friend Tim. You saw the first one we built early in this video, and we built that one 17 years ago. This time I was on my own. So it made each step ever more important that I had thought through how I was going to get each piece of lumber up 10 feet into the tree and secured the proper way. I wasn't able to get the first couple of bolts the whole way into the tree since I miscalculated and forgot to account for the width of the board itself. I measured the length I wanted to drill into the tree, thinking I would align the board with the drilled hole later, but decided against that in the moment. I was thinking about 1,000 other things at the time, so I forgot to account for it, resulting in too short a hole that I couldn't get the bolt the entire way due to how tight it was to turn.
got it. First one to go the whole way in flush.
Mistakes will happen, and the base of the treehouse should be fortified enough, even without the lag bolts being in the entire way. That's what experience is all about, learning as you go.
So this guy's done. This guy's done here. We got another one sticking out there, but that one's pretty close. So yeah, feels good. Okay, there she is. It's like you're in a cathedral with these things. The locust, it's just echoing everywhere you go, coming from all directions. And it's exactly how I remember it from 17 years ago in 2004, last time they were out. I can't believe it's been that long. But they're back in full force.
The cicadas were so loud once the sun rose high in the sky. But what a natural phenomenon. A bug that burrows in the ground for 17 years only to pop out for a month or two to try and mate with others just to hide away for almost another 2 decades. What a way to live. It felt really good to do some physical work for a change, and to be deep in the woods in the process. The sunlight was beaming through the trees, the green was everywhere and vibrant in color, and the air was crisp and pure. It was easy to lose track of time, and when I took a step back to look at my progress, I was impressed with how much I was actually able to get done in such a short period.
I just decided to take a little breather. It's around lunchtime, maybe a little late lunch. I guess it's coming up on 1 o'clock, but I haven't looked at the time in a while, so that's how I like it. Anyway, I'm doing pretty well. I've got 3 of the joists up in the deck, the front deck. There's 10 foot long, and then I got 2 here. I haven't screwed these in yet, but I'm going to soon. I gotta go get 1 more, bring it back. And once I get those up, I just need to tack the ends on. That side, and I'll be good to start putting floorboards on. So I'm doing a lot of work. It seems like it's crawling by, but it's midday and I've gotten a lot of the hard stuff done. So I feel pretty good. Still have a lot of energy left. I'm gonna keep going. So I haven't eaten much yet today. That might catch up with me, but I'm at least drinking enough fluids. So making sure I'm drinking water. But it's a beautiful day. It's not hot out, so it's enough that you sweating. I sweat pretty easily, but even though I'm sweating, I'm cool. Like, I'm not overheating. I'm making sure I'm taking my time so that I don't overheat, but I'm taking all the precautions. It's just this is awesome. I love creating things like this, and it's just me. So I can run on my own time. I don't have to answer to anybody right now. It's very liberating. Very liberating, and it was a much needed break for sure. So many thanks to my wife for taking the kids this weekend. many thanks.
My friend Tim and I like to call these treesteads, since they aren't quite tree houses or tree forts, but rather places where we just like to hang out, among the presence of the trees and all the deep woods have to offer. I had enough lumber to place most, if not all, the floorboards onto the joists.
That's right, boy. Okay.
I also knew that I'd be back in 2 weeks' time with friends to camp out for a weekend. So my plans were to come back and finish the floorboards and maybe start on the railings then. Doing things like this on your own is always more challenging than as if you had some help. But it just goes to show that if you take your time and think through the process of things, that you can essentially work through and around small issues to find the end result you're looking for. All it takes is will and perseverance.
Yes!
I was tired, I was dirty, but it was a heck of a day, and the feeling of creating something like that just can't be duplicated.
Okay. Alright. Well, this is what I got done today, so it's pretty good. Good frame.
Phase 1 was done, and I hope to be able to show you the finished result later this summer.
Yeah, I could hang out here and relax. That's the point of building it. Awesome. Yep. Yep, she's fine. She's mighty fine.